This is my vintage RC10T. I picked this up, maybe about 2 months ago, possibly a little longer, from a fellow forum member on RC10Talk.com, and I posted enough stuff on there to get access to the buy sell thread forum, and I found this, and I got it shipped from the UK. And so, I should point out that most of the stuff that's on this in terms of the chassis build, I did not myself do. Someone else did it, and they just did a really beautiful job. So I just want to show that. And I did paint the body myself and do all the decals and everything. So this is my sort of typical paint scheme here. But let's take the body off. Okay. And the only additions I made were the RPM. Anything that's neon yellow here, it's RPM neon yellow plastics. I added those myself because I like yellow RPM parts quite a lot. But this has a lot of RPM stuff on it. I think the front bulkhead is RPM, the front body mounts are RPM, the front suspension arms are RPM, the rear bulkhead is RPM, and the shock tower. The rear arms are RPM. There's a lot of really, really nice, super clean, brand new stuff on this. The chassis itself was re-powder coated, and because it was so nice, I bought some J Concepts chassis film protector, and I put it on the back. Just as a tip, when you put down that chassis protector, what some people do that I've seen is they peel the whole thing off and then they just kind of smash it on there, and you get all these air bubbles and everything. That is no way to apply properly a chassis protector. You have to apply it like it's a decal. It means you peel it off piece by piece, and you very slowly, press it on, make sure all the air bubbles are out. You go all the way down. So you can see where these little bubbles here are. I have not cut out holes for these screws because I don't expect to have to take these screws out at least anytime soon. If down the road I need to take these screws out to remove the gearbox, okay, then I could cut these holes out. But otherwise, this is nice and sealed to protect those screws. Let's see. So let's flip it back over here. This also comes with an RPM gearbox, brand new. The drivetrain has been updated to accept modern spur gears and slipper pads. This is like a T4 or B4 slipper clutch setup here. Okay, these are MIP CVDs that will accept modern rims. Okay, these vintage rims here actually don't fit perfectly on the wheel axle. You got to sort of jam them in there, so they're really just there just for looks right now. But this is a modernized setup. Let's see, what else did I do? I installed the electronics, Spectrum receiver. There's a Novak Edge speed control running out to a Redisonic 17.5 motor. I got this off of eBay. It's partially used, but very good condition, very clean. There's a high-tech 7966 Bb Servo. It's an extremely fast servo. It has carbonite gears, or this lightweight sort of carbon plastic gear. So they're not metal gears. I have stripped gears on this kind of servo before, running in short course. But this chassis is not quite as aggressive as a short course truck, so the servo should be fine. Very, very fast, like 0.08 second transit time. Really nice. These are standard AE shocks from the mid-90s here. I might change the springs to big bore springs. So one way to do that with conventional bore associated shocks is to get the Traxxas spring retainers, which is basically a little ring that goes on top here to hold a big bore spring. And then you could also use the Traxxas spring cups on the bottom, or you can get associated spring cups for their big bore shocks, which are so popular right now, and mount those on the bottom. And then I typically use low-C big bore springs when I run them, and just run them down the side there. So maybe I'll do that. I do that presently in my T4.1, which I converted my SC10 to a T4.1, and I run big bore springs on that. Very smooth, very nice. The battery cup here is, if you look at my RC10 Team car video, I had pointed out that when you want to put modern LiPo packs into an older, like a vintage RC10 chassis, like, you know, the RC10T or the Team car, which is the same exact chassis, you got to take this battery cup and push it all the way up against, it's hard to see because the pieces are all black here, all the way up against the servo mount. Okay, then you'll get enough space to put a LiPo in there. And then for the battery brace, I just use a modern carbon fiber battery brace that you can get for a B4 or preferably a B4, not the T4, because the T4 has a longer lip that comes out here and a shorter arm that goes out to the back. So get the B4 brace, and this will go all the way out to the real bulkhead and sit on the bulkhead just fine. Okay, and you know, just screw them in with thumb screws and you're good to go. So I do plan on running this at the Vintage Nationals this year. It's an event that RC Car Action holds every year. And as much as I want to run this truck in there, I am a little hesitant to get this truck dirty because it's just so beautiful looking. But, you know, what's the point of having toys if you can't play with them, right? So if you go there, you might see this truck running. By all means, stop by and say hi. But I just want to at least make a video of this while it's still clean before I get it all dirty in a few months for the Vintage Nationals. So thanks for watching.